This is what happens when you hit a whoop a little hard in the Raptor R. You lose a piece of trim. The Ford Raptor is a truck with an undeniable cult following, now in its third generation. But when the company did away with the beloved V8 of the first model, the fan base was caught off guard. They demanded more cylinders again in an era where powertrains are getting smaller and more efficient. And for one reason or another, Ford finally put the V8 back under the hood of this monster. This is the 2023 Raptor R with 700 horsepower, and today I'm in Western Michigan to answer a very simple question. Is this better than the V6 model? Let's find out. We both know why you're here, so I'm gonna put this thing in a loud mode and floor it so you can hear that V8 for yourself. But in return, you have to promise me to like this video and subscribe to the Edmunds channel so you don't miss any of the fun stuff that we're up to. Fun stuff like this. So while we're here enjoying this bipolar Michigan weather and these beautiful fall colors, let me actually tell you something more useful, like what is the Raptor R? As you can imagine, this is very close to the now standard V6 powered Raptor, except in place of that 3.5 liter turbocharged V6 is a supercharged 5.2 liter V8, making 700 red, white, and blue horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. Let's think about that for a second. The standard V6 Raptor is plenty powerful, but it only has 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet. The mighty R has 250 more horsepower, and its curb weight is within 100 pounds of the V6. This truck costs about 109 grand. That is expensive any way you look at it. 30 grand more expensive than a base Raptor. 24,000 more than a V6 model equipped with the same 37-inch tires. And around 10 to 15,000 more than a comparably equipped Ram TRX. You gotta pay to go fast. It's gonna go on sale alongside the V6 Raptor as we speak. Now this is the engine from the Shelby GT500. By the way, Edmunds owns a GT500 and you can see the link to some of the fun content we've done with that car right here. Obviously that Shelby is a high revving track focused car, and you can actually feel that in this. You can feel the soul of a muscle car when you get into the throttle. But unlike that Shelby, this truck is designed for off-road use, and the engineers tune the powertrain accordingly. And this is that moment right now. Huge sand dune in front of us. We're not on a racetrack. We don't need to rev this thing all the way to the top. We need that power on the low end of the rev range. Keep your foot in it all the way up and around. Nice. Nice and controlled. There's just so much grunt at the lower end of the power band. It's exactly where you want it. Makes it almost like a cheat code getting this thing up and over a sand dune. With the standard Raptor already such a badass off-road, there wasn't a whole lot to be done to beef up the Raptor R even more. There's a new front axle to handle that extra grunt, and the exhaust system they had to make some changes to, actually to make it quieter, not louder. They had to make this truck meet noise regulation. There is no noise issue going on here whatsoever. In addition to that, there's a slightly different spring rate for that 24-inch coil as well that is specific to the Raptor R. You do get the same adaptive Fox shocks though, the same ones from the V6 Raptor. And just like in that truck, these are scanning the road hundreds of times per second, giving you the best ride quality possible. They do wonders, magical wonders on the road, taking care of potholes and bumps and bruises, but they serve a better purpose off-road. Now that suspension setup seems a little bit extreme for the road, I know, but suddenly when you find yourself in moments like this, it becomes more important, and you can understand why Ford went through all the work of putting that sort of kit on this truck. And if you're wondering why my truck suddenly grew an American flag and changed color, it's not because it's the engineer's truck who just parked it like that. I did this, it was me. That's why I'm still wearing the helmet. The hardware changes are why you're buying this truck, no doubt, but Ford did go out of its way to make the Raptor R look visually different from the standard truck as well. On the exterior, your giveaway are the little code orange R's. You can see one tucked away on the bottom side of the grille, and wherever it says Raptor on this truck, that last R is going to be finished in code orange. Tow hooks are going to be orange too. Every Raptor R gets a larger power bulge in the hood to kind of let you know the monster that lives underneath. Moving along to the side of the truck, the only way to do a Raptor R is with 37-inch tires and beadlock capable wheels. You can't get the 35-inch tire package on this. As the engineers told me, if you're gonna go big, you're gonna go big. So those are the wheels and tires that you get with that. I love that this truck has a solid step on the side, so short kings like myself can hop into the cab without issue. And focus your attention on that massive side graphic for just a second. It comes standard with the truck. You can delete it if you don't want it. But if you look a little closer, you'll see that there's a 1V and then a whole bunch of 8 surrounding it. Just one more nod to the beast that lives under the hood. Inside the cabin, there are a few tweaks as well that set this apart. The same code orange accents. There's one behind me on the seat and one here on the center console. The seats themselves too have these nice Alcantara inserts, and they're just super duper comfortable. Overall, this is just a loaded Raptor cabin. It's still big, spacious, plenty of legroom for everybody. Don't get me wrong, it's not a Mercedes S-Class in here, even though it does cost S-Class money, but this is a different tool for a different job. And the Raptor R on the road, it's surprisingly civil, surprisingly comfortable. Off-road, however, that's where it's at its best. So we can talk about the hardware improvements, we can talk about the V8, but this moment right now, this is why you're buying a Raptor R. So you can put it into 2 high, put your foot on the gas, and basically do stuff like this. Nice drifting. Holds the drift pretty well too. Oh my gosh, it doesn't get much better than that. Nice and easy, 3,500 RPM. Keep it in the drift. Just send it around. So much fun. Arguably too much fun. The 37-inch tire package seems ridiculous until you're surrounded by stuff like this. And Ford is not being shy in saying, you know, this is a truck that you gotta use off-road to really justify its cost and justify all the kit that comes on it. I mean, the ground clearance is a huge deal. In this case, we're going over really steep inclines that immediately drop into these descents. And without that ground clearance, man, we'd be brushing up with the sand pretty much the entire day. So in a scenario like this, 37s make sense.
And if you guys decide to race, you know, let's race.
They're encouraging us to not be shy with throttle use. Here we have the biggest straightaway on the entire course, 700 horsepower and a firm right foot. Let's see what happens. Right about now, you're probably wondering what the R's 0 to 60 time is. Yeah, that makes 2 of us. Ford isn't saying. All I can say is that Edmunds hit 60 in 5.8 seconds in the V6 truck, so the R should be much quicker. Somewhere in the 4s feels right to me. You know, one of the other things I've noticed with this powertrain, especially off-road where it can kind of be unruly where and how much throttle you give it, it always seems to be in the right gear. We've had the truck in Baja mode pretty much the entire time we've been in the sand today. And Baja mode seems to be perfectly tuned with the engine, just keeping the power exactly where you want it. Right now it's 3.5, 4,000. It's not shifting when you don't want it to. Some trucks, they kind of get wacky when you take them off-road, but this mode specifically with this truck is doing a great job so far. Biggest hill of the day. There we go. Now we go down. Look at that. Keep it nice and controlled. A little steering back and forth. Big hill for me. Not too big for the truck, to be honest with you. Look, you get to park next to your friends at the end of it. Nice little reward. And now we get to the not so fun topic of fuel economy. 15.5 was our result when testing the V6, so the R should be south of that. My trip computer showed 11 mpg combined, and that was the truck we used for on-road driving. Oh, Raptor R, what a total ridiculous riot. This thing brings out an emotional side of me that few cars do these days. My cheeks are killing me from smiling all day long in that stupid little helmet that squished my face together. Don't get me wrong, the V6 Raptor is still a total capable truck, but this is the best Raptor that Ford has ever made. And at some point, hopefully some point soon, we'll get to compare it to some of its closest rivals. Thanks for watching.